Well, hey there everyone, it's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike. It's December 11th. Welcome to Southeast Louisiana. Hey there folks. We're in the cool of the evening. It's like 78 degrees, below 80. It's been a nice day actually, but a bit sticky and humid. I'm out here on this colony that I caused the problems with, or really not sure that I caused it. I really don't know. I really think it points to that. I don't know. Whatever it was, it's over with. It's done. They were alive, and I'm out here, and I've got to put some feed on them. But I'm also out here doing probiotics on my colonies. I think those smokers are going pretty good now. I always get questions about the probiotic I use. I use Super DFM made by Strong Microbials. It takes about a tablespoon on each colony. I'm doing it once a month. I guess in the spring before I put supers on, I can pretty much do it anytime I have them open, which would be weekly. But at a minimum, once a month, especially going into winter, was what I was told. I just want to help them as best I can. Anything I can do to help the bees, all of them, not just the one I messed up. And it's just like our probiotics. It's a gut health deal. And you know, that's just an added supplement. So anyway, I'm going to be doing that, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the colony that we found a problem with. So yeah, that's the thing. We're doing probiotics. I got some feed for the colony that needs feed. It's also time now that goldenrod and everything else is pretty much done. There's still a little nectar coming in from something, but not enough to really make any much of a difference. It's time to weigh the colonies and see who needs feed as we go into mid-November. Shouldn't be anybody. I checked them all a while back and everybody was heavy. They bulked up good off the goldenrod. But look, I want to show you this clip that I did a few days ago, coming back here to check on this colony to see what we had going on. So take a look at this clip, and then we'll get busy and I'll show you where we're at on what we're doing. There, folks, I'm out here at the colony. I did everything I could to kill it, pretty much. Gosh, still get sick about it. Anyway, I'm out here at it. It's been a few days. I wanted to let any robbing tendencies slow down, let everybody get settled before I went in and actually put some stores in there. Is there still something flowing? Yes, there's probably a few things flowing still. You got asters out there, small little wildflowers, things like that. But they're very light. When I plugged them up, I must have done something good, because there was still a small patch of honey, 2 small patches of honey on 2 frames. So that was good. So the robbing had stopped. As we look at them, we can see they're definitely, I got their entrance blocked down. I've got pollen coming in. Bees are flying, looking good as far as I can tell, you know, as far as, you know, being on the front and populated. But yeah, so they're looking okay. I want to get in. I brought 2 frames of honey in my Hive Butler back there. I want to give them some stores. Now, if there's brood and stuff in certain frames that can't come out, then I did bring some Hive Alive fondant. Even though it's hot, it's kind of hot for that, because that stuff can tend to melt. But I think they would eat it fast enough, it wouldn't matter. But I brought some just in case, you know, I got to get them some feed, you know. But I think we'll be all right. I'm going to go ahead and get set up and go in here and look. But yeah, I'm out here just checking it. You know, I want to see if that queen is laying too, because it had 2 queens. Remember, this is the one that I shook bees for a mite wash, and I'd found a queen, put her aside, shook bees into, didn't worry about looking anymore, found the queen, shook bees into my little box, and went to scoop bees out or shake them down, and there was a queen. So there was a second queen. They're not always mated. Like, it could be one mated and one unmated, but a lot of times it's 2 mated ones. So I want to say I saw eggs last time, but I was in such a hurry, I might have been mistaken. But I want to see if that queen in there is laying. And I did see her in there. I did see her in there. She was on the inner cover. So let's look. They weren't hostile last time I was in there, but I got no smoke. Yeah, okay. I didn't think I had smoke coming out. All right, let's pop this lid. I'd rather put the honey in than any fondant, but so we got some bees, not a lot. Again, I really did a number on them. I see one beetle, kill him. Got it. That's good. I don't want to see any beetles in a weak colony. Looking at the numbers, they're clustered in the middle. This is exactly why it was a good idea to condense them. And I'm not going to go hunting through. I want to just see if I can get... Who is that out there? I just want to see if I can get some empty frames out and get honey frames in and check for eggs. That's it. Of course, it'd be nice to see the queen, but I'd rather see the queen laying because I just don't know if she was the one that was mated or not. See, this is one that has a little bit of honey left. You can tell they had quit robbing on this one, so I want to leave this one in for sure because it's still got a little bit of bee bread. Only by the grace of God did these things survive. Look, there's nectar. So they're putting some nectar in. That's good. No eggs on this one. I'm really concerned. And I mean, I can always just combine this box. There's a single sitting right next to it. A single and a medium. And the medium's pretty much loaded with honey. So I can always just put them on there if I have to. Not big of a deal. No eggs in this one. They're calm. So if there's no eggs in this one and no brood on it, I'm going to shake this one off. This is going to be one I pull and replace with honey. Nope, it's full of bee bread. I want to leave that in there. All right, well, maybe, since we're at the bee bread, maybe we're at the edge of the nest. I could possibly take that other one out. So they're still bringing in a little bit of nectar. That's good. Giving them food is going to be of no value if we're not seeing any eggs, though. There's still a small patch of brood left. Right there, you can barely see it under those bees. There's some larvae, that's good, but you know, who was that? But well, no, there's some very, very young larvae. That's even better. Now I'm getting hopeful. Young larvae are good because that means once they're capped, that means we've got 7 days or less on them, which is when this whole thing went down. We could be in business. I just wish I could see eggs. Definitely can't take that frame. And push comes to shove, I'll take one with a small patch of honey on it and replace it with that full honey frame I got. Okay. Here's a frame. It's got tiny, tiny larvae, so I'm confident that the queen is laying because they wouldn't be that young. It's been at least 7 days since the robbery and since I messed up. It's been longer than that since I messed up. So the queen I saw is laying. Let's take a look, make sure we ain't missed her here. There's some brood that's capped. So she's not gonna be building up anytime soon fast, but she's building because we've got winter upon us, and there's some eggs. So I see eggs, and you won't be able to see them, but there's eggs in there, so we're good. Praise the Lord. I thank him for covering my mistakes. Isn't that what he does, though? Isn't that what Jesus does? Covers us. He covers us. Amen. So I don't need to see the queen now. I just got to dig for a frame that I can replace with some honey. Got to move it over anyway. Little brood frame. Yep, there's a lot of eggs in this. So she's laying like crazy trying to rebuild. Good. I'll put it here and see if maybe the camera will pick it up. But trust me, they're there, which means, oh, and they're on this side too. Wow, she's really putting them in. So she's doing her best, and this brood will be fine. We've got plenty of time for this brood to be capped and emerge. So I'm going to keep moving frames over because what I want to do is get to this side. I see some frames that look like they should be empty. I did put a couple on the side that had brood in them from the top box. So I want to leave those for, there she is, there's the queen. Look at there. She's definitely mated. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Wow. Wow. And this is last year's queen too. I mean, she's not old. So I'm gonna put her right here safely. And I'm gonna try to get these frames out of here. This one's got a little bit of nectar. So what I'm gonna take is this last one on the edge. No, it's got a little bit of honey in it, but not enough to where I'm gonna keep it. It's only got a little bit. So we're gonna take this one out. And we're gonna put this one in. So I got this one here. Let's get that much. So I'm gonna put this in my hive Butler. It's just got a little bit of honey. It's pretty much empty. You can tell this side was robbed. It's all, they fixed it, but you can tell where it was all robbed out. And they didn't get to that little bit. So that little bit ain't gonna matter. Yeah, this is the one I'm gonna take. It's got some bee bread, no eggs, a little bit of nectar that's on there. They're pulling in some nectar now, so I'm not too concerned. That leaves them the existing honey. All right, ladies, y'all got to get back in. It's like it's going to rain. And I got this one. It's full of nectar. I mean, it's slam full of nectar. It was in the freezer, put some capped honey. And same with this side. It's all nectar and capped honey. It's very, very heavy. So it's a good frame of stores for them. This is going to help them immensely. Let's put it to the side. I'll clean that out a little bit because it's a fat frame. And I'm going to put it here on the edge. All right, folks, there we go. We've given them some weight. They're still very light, very light. We're gonna have to feed them. So now that the robins quit, maybe I can put a hive top on here. Just give them a gallon of 2 to 1, that'll bulk them up. But I just wanted to get this on there and I'll make up some syrup for them. But at least I know they got some stores in here now. That was my true concern, was did they have stores to at least get through? They had so little in there. Now there is nectar coming, but for me, I'm not comfortable with the amount. And I know they weren't that big. That's one thing we always have to remember. Small colonies don't take as much. That's it for them. Got other tasks to do. Lots of tasks. Not a lot of beekeeping, just lots of tasks. So there you go. I'm excited for them that we've got a laying queen. And I'll explain how how I perceive the feeding will go as far as these bees and where they'll put this feed now that we got them in a single. But I want to put probiotics on everybody while I'm out here. Mid-month is when I've been doing it, so I'm a little early, but let's go ahead and put probiotics on them anyway, so we're done with this yard. Even though I'll have to come back out here, maybe throw some more feed on my colony in question. I want to go ahead and get this done now. So it's simple. It's a powder. This is like a powdered sugar, sucrose sugar, and it's got the probiotic in it. I'm going to give them 2 and let them clean that out. They're not all the way up at the top. This colony is smaller than the 3 deep configuration would suggest, but it's I just never took them off. Look at that big old, look at that, who was in there. What was she doing in there? She or he, I don't know how bumblebees work. Is that a bumblebee or a carpenter bee? Woo. You ever got stung by those? They hurt, and they're mean. So, we're going to get this back on, and that's simply all there is for the probiotics, in case you guys haven't seen me do it. And remember, guys, if I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. This is not a how-to video. I'm showing you what I do. Mike Berry, how he does bees, not how they're supposed to be done. Oh, that's a heavy lid. Wow, that's a heavy lid. That's full of honey and full of bees. A lot of bees. They're all centered up in the middle. Here they come. Now they're coming up. Probably not. It's probably best not get them stirred up. Sometimes when you throw this stuff on there, it stirs them up. That's it. This is the one, the other one that had the treatment. They can be mean at times. All right. Now this colony, it also had that same treatment situation. There were a few dead bees in front of it, but nothing like the other one, so I don't know. This one didn't succumb to any problems like that one did. So folks, here's the plan with the colony that we had the problems with. I have decided to go with a hive top feeder. I thought about bringing a lid with a hole for a bucket, but you know, I don't want to chance any robbing, and if anything seeps out of the bucket, that draws more bees to this thing. Let's look at the front. The front, they're coming and going. They're kind of hanging out now. Not a lot of activity. Today, the bees just weren't flying a lot today. I had come out the other day and shot that other clip. Was happy that all that was good, and noticed there were no bees trying to investigate, and still no bees trying to investigate. But we don't want to give them any reason to investigate, so that's why I don't want to use that type of feeder. A frame feeder will do me no good because they need every frame they can get. She's got about 4 frames of brood, maybe 5, that have got eggs and larvae. Some should be capped by now. Some may not be capped. There's a pollen and a half here, plus some space to put some of this 2-to-1 that I made her. So that'll work out good because the brood being in the middle will push the syrup to the outsides and to the top, configure the nest like we need it. That's a good thing. So I don't want to take any frames in my frame feeders would take up 2 frames, and they need all the frames they can get. Let's look at the cluster. I'm not going to smoke them too much so you can see. That's the small cluster. So there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you count over here. So at the most 5 solid frames of bees, maybe 6. Not that many bees. And this was a huge colony. So we're going to give them some probiotics, and we're going to go with the hive top feeder. Again, the frame feeder would take out necessary frames that they've got brood and they have somewhere where they need food at. That would take that away. The bucket could possibly leak. I don't want to take any chances. So I'm going to go with the hive top. And the hive top is one of these. Let's put some probiotics on first. This is for gut health, of course, just like I was saying earlier. We'll put the hive top feeder on. These are pretty good about isolating feed from the outside where other bees don't get in here. I did not put any Hive Alive in here because I don't want any attractant. I thought about maybe even a sliced up pollen patty, but I don't have a screen to put it on, and I don't want to draw any hive beetles into this thing and breed those things. Even though we're not seeing them, I don't want to take any chances. I mixed up some 2-to-1 and only have given them a ½ gallon. The reason for that is I don't want them to have a lot of feed on in case the other bees smell them. Oh man, it's stuck on good. I mixed 4 pounds with 2 pints of water. It's a good thick syrup, ½ gallon. They're not that big, so it's not like they're going to drink it down fast. But I don't want a lot of feed sitting in here. I'm just going to put it on one side. There we go. So I'll just give them a ½ gallon at a time, and to me that'll be just fine. Don't want to make any mess. I've cleaned the hive top feeder good. This I cleaned the other day good, so it should seal up just fine. And there we go. That should, because this is a very, very light hive. I mean, it's got some weight since I put the honey in, but it's light. But again, they don't need to be 60 pounds of honey either, because they're small. They won't need that much. So, you know, hive weights are definitely relative to the size of the colony. That's for sure. Because whenever I bring nukes through the winter, they're not heavy. They may have 2.5 to 3 frames of honey at the most. Most of the time just 2. they do fine. Remember, around here, our bees will break cluster during the afternoon in winter, so they can go get the food. It's not like where you guys up north, they can't break cluster and they're stuck in that spot. And if all the honey's on the outside, they starve a frame away. We don't have that problem. So there you go, folks. That is the update. I'm going to go in the back and throw some probiotics out there and on those colonies back there. And that's all I'm doing today. Really don't do a lot. This is the most I've ever done in November with bees. I usually don't do a lot. Oh, and me, this is how I check the colonies for feed. I just basically go in the back and feel it. I know what that son of a gun is heavy. There's so much weight in there. Golly, yeah, they're super heavy. This one I know is heavy. It's, oh my goodness. Whew. No problems out here, just that one. And that's what we got. Oh, and another thing I've got to do is entrance reducers. And I got them in all these. I know I have them in all these because they were being robbed. Well, that colony should be okay. I'm thinking we're going to be all right. Give them some feed, bulk them up. Should be good to go. Push comes to shove, throw a fondant patty on them once we get into the cold weather. Yeah, they should be as well as we can get them. Bringing them on through, paving that road to recovery, I hope. We'll see. We'll see. Other than that, we've done what we can do. I think they're looking good. I got a laying queen. She should have 3 to 4 frames of brood in there. That'll give them a nice boost. They'll have their food. Again, I'll put a fondant patty on if I need to in the cold. We're going to nurture them through. We're going to work on through here and get them on the way. And that's about all we can do. But I appreciate all y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed this follow-up. That's all we're doing is following up, trying to get this thing on the road to recovery. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and may God bless you. We'll see y'all later.